Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Poppy Tooker, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO Radio. Hello, Miss Poppy.
Hello, Peggy.
Hi there. Gwen Tompkins, host of the radio program Music Inside Out, also airing on WWNO. Hey, Miss Gwen.
Hello.
And Alan Smason of Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. And later on, we'll hear a special chat between Alan and a certain New Orleans mad scientist. And also, welcome to our Steppin Out Cafe. We have a new look, and we're really thrilled about that. There we are. Woohoo! Very thrilled. First up, Poppy.
Well, the bargains continue. Culinary's over, but it's Restaurant Week New Orleans coming up this week. It's going to run September 9th through the 15th. There's over 125 restaurants participating. You can find bargains for brunch, lunch, and for dinner. So I went shopping for big bargains and deliciousness. And here is what I found. The biggest bargain, Eat Nola. I hardly ever think to tell you all how delicious Jared Zerang's food is on Dumaine Street. He's been there for 14 years, and he gets first prize, 3 courses for $28. And they don't have a liquor license, so it's BYOB, so there's another savings with a small corkage fee. And the menu, 3 courses. You choose from homemade Natchitoches meat pies, Winnie's shrimp and corn soup, summer watermelon salad, and then, oh my goodness, there's a panade pork loin, there's a blackened chicken Caesar salad, and his crab and shrimp fettuccine is divine. You've never had lemon box, icebox pie till you've had Jared's. Banana cake with whipped cream cheese icing and fresh fruit sorbet. And a bonus, when you go there, he also owns Wayne Jacobs Smokehouse in Laplace, and he has a refrigerated case so you can stock up on your tasso, your boudin, everything, your andouille and your cracklins. It's all right there on Dumaine Street. And now we're going to go uptown to the River Bend because Chef Jason Goodenough's food is so delicious, and his menu is great. $39, it's a dinner, 3 choices in each course, and some of my favorites included chorizo stuffed squid, a homemade Creole cream cheese cavatelli with lump crab meat and caramelized cauliflower and grana padano, and for dessert, that old-fashioned favorite floating isle. You don't see that much.
Ouf à la neige.
Then here's a bargain, $20 for a 2-course lunch at Emerald's, including scallop pan roast and their chicken and waffles, pretty delicious. And for brunch over at Ralph's on the Park, now they're serving brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. The brunch is $36. You have a choice at the start of a holeless donut or turtle soup, but I want the steak and eggs, which is a grilled Vegas strip, 2 sunny side-up eggs, cream cheese, spinach, and herbed compound butter, or give me a little oysters Rockefeller risotto and I'll be happy. And for dessert, I'll be ordering the chocolate blueberry blackout cake with caramel sauce and almond crunch. And then we're going to just cross the causeway real quick for a bargain that I just discovered on the North Shore at the Dakota. They are doing a 2-course, $21 businessman's lunch that's going to remain in place. The menu's going to change, but it's going to all be delicious. Like right now, you can have a little cup of that crab and brie soup that Chef Kim invented, or the watermelon and heirloom tomato salad. There's a grilled pork loin with a Kentucky bourbon barbecue sauce that was divine. Crispy fried mustard beer marinated catfish with corn mock choux, Creole remoulade, and crystal butter. Are you starving yet? And oh my goodness, on the regular menu, there were these lamb nachos that had ground lamb, tomato chutney, Danish blue cheese, and instead of nacho chips, there was these strips of fried sweet potatoes that were just divine. So the Dakota, it's a reason to cross the causeway for us on the North Shore, on the South Shore. And if you're on the North Shore already, well, you already know about it, because my goodness, they're an institution there.
Sure are. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Bobby. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time we asked for the names of 2 men's suits that traditionally Labor Day marks the end of the season for wearing them. Well, Simon Coates, thank you, Mr. Coates, gave us the answers: seersucker and white linen. Now, tonight's question. Both New Orleans and Houston are known for an historic bayou. What are they? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prize is a year subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a dish towel with a black and gold fleur-de-lis from our friends at Wearable Vegetables, and a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, or the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. You can go to wyes.org/steppinout for our own online calendar, including a few of my favorite things performed by the opera group Bon Operati, on Wednesday. That's this Wednesday, September 11th, from 7 to 9 p.m. And it's at the 4 Points Hotel. It's the 4 Points by Sheraton on Bourbon Street, the former site, by the way, of the old French Opera House. Also, the Record Raid Vintage Vinyl Show takes place on Saturday, September 14th at the People's Health New Orleans Jazz Market. That's right there in Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard. That's going to be a very, very big deal. You can also link to WYES's YouTube channel to see our program. And now, Gwen, this has been a heck of a summer into fall. We have lost some very, very special people, and one we did not have a chance to really talk about was Spencer Boren, the wonderful guitarist, composer, amazing,
Right, composer,
sweet
singer,
guy, and
songwriter,
swell guy.
wonderful guy, absolutely. I mean, there have been so many milestones this year. I don't know how music lovers are going to get through it, to be honest with you. But Spencer Boren was a wonderful singer-songwriter, and we were really thrilled to meet him because he spoke with us back in May, and it turned out to be his last radio interview.
Yeah.
Yes, he spoke with us on Music Inside Out. Told wonderful stories. He was a great raconteur, which was a big part of his
Is that
his
online
concert
now?
appeal.
Can folks go
Indeed,
online?
yes. You
Okay,
can go
good.
to
www.
musicinsideout.org, musicinsideout.org, and you can listen to the full interview, and it was just wonderful. His stories are great. And Spencer Boren and his wife Marilyn were not from here. There were I think Marilyn was from Colorado. Spencer Boren was born and raised in Wyoming, but they came back here. Well, they came down here in the 70s, lured by Professor Longhair's music and Dr. John's, of course, and they were great students. Particularly Spencer, great student of American music. He was known as a blues singer, but he really more identified with being a folk singer, and so he was so interested in folk music, any kind of American or indigenous music, whether it be Americana, blues, Big Bad John, isn't that the name of the song? Big
Bad John.
Big Bad John.
Okay.
Exactly. He was great. And but I understand you all have a clip of.
Yes, but he was a real roving troubadour. He and his wife and his
absolutely he
children
was.
in the
In fact,
Airstream for
yeah.
many years traveled around the country, and then he traveled around the world. But yes, we have something special before we proceed. We have Mr. Spencer Boren actually performing from a 2015 Steppin Out that was near Christmas, because he would do annually a Snug Harbor Christmas concert. And this is a holiday take on Huey Piano Smith's Don't You Just Know It.
Santa Claus is coming, so you better be good. Be nice to the people in your neighborhood. Ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh. Gooba, 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 gooba. mistletoe. You better make it quick so your mama don't know. Ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh. Gooba, 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 gooba. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh. Jingle bells and silent night. You got the fire on the levee, and yeah, you right. Ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh. Gooba, 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 gooba. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh. Ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh. Gooba, 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 gooba. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Hey, oh.
So missed. So missed.
It was just great, absolutely. He had a wonderful sense of humor. And if you actually want to see photos of his Mark Twain-esque, trip with his family, a 7-year journey across the United States, you can go to his website, spencerboren.com, and see fantastic photos
And
of
lots
the
of
family.
CDs available too.
Oh, absolutely. And he's got new music coming out, actually, with the Wright brothers. That's Jim McCormick and Alex McMurray and Paul Sanchez. And so that should be coming out. In fact, his son, Andre Boren, is producing. So it's going to be pretty wonderful. It's been a real time of milestones, as I said earlier. And, obviously we haven't talked about Art Neville yet. We haven't talked about so
will
many
soon.
people. One day we will, hopefully. But then also, I think I might have been the last person to know that Roland von Kernitowski died. He and his wife Mary were owners of Tipitinas for some time. They ran the Tipitinas Foundation, which helped an awful lot of musicians. They were pivotal to helping Fats Domino, obviously, after the storm, as well as so many musicians putting instruments in their hands. But one of his great contributions to music, even though he knew nothing about music, God knows that man knew nothing about music, but he laughed about that a lot. But one of his great contributions was this, Going Home, which was an all-star tribute to Fats Domino.
Yeah, there you go.
You go ahead.
Yeah,
there you go. And it was just phenomenal. He was so proud of it. And I have to say, I've listened to this album so many times. It's a double CD set, actually. And it just includes, artists like B.B. King and Lenny Kravitz and Art Neville and Robert Plant and Neil Young and Elvis Costello and, so many great people. And he would laugh and say that he actually told Robert Plant once, this is a story about him not really knowing much about music. He said, oh, I just loved your that Led Zeppelin song, Highway to Heaven. And he didn't think Plant heard him. Plant said nothing. And then he said, really, Highway to Heaven is great. And then Plant said, no, it's Stairway to Heaven.
No, I know you. There are two do not miss this weekend.
It's true, yes.
Two
But
events.
this is a good time to buy a ticket at Tipitinas, actually, because Galactic is playing there. Galactic, they're the new owners, of course, and they're going to have a 10 o'clock show Saturday night, of course, and it's not to be missed. And then on Thursday, try Michael Doucette at Et Lâcher Prise over at the Ogden Museum of Art. That's going to be on Thursday night. It's his first solo album of new material in 20 years.
Oh, my goodness.
He's normally associated, of course, with Beau Soleil.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gwen. And now it is time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we are featuring the work of painter Noah Satterstrom. This is Ensemble number 6 rather, excuse me. And then here is Carte de Visite number 12. His work will be on view at the Carol Robinson Gallery at 840 Napoleon, right there at Magazine. The exhibit is called The History of Looking, a tribute to the photography and photographs of Norman's studio. The opening reception takes place tomorrow, September the 7th, from 6 to 8 p.m., and it is on view through September 28th. For more information, you can go to Noah Satterstrom's, visit his own website.com, or go to Carol Robinson Gallery, of course, too. Now, we're so excited because something very special happened recently, didn't it?
Yes, indeed.
You know, let me just tell you that, Alan, I understand that you were recently, shall we say, able to speak with someone.
Yes.
Shall we say one of New Orleans, if not New Orleans' favorite mad scientists.
The most important scientist to ever come on TV, for sure.
Morgus the Magnificent. And I am very jealous, but let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Hey, it's really a pleasure hearing from you, Dr. Morgus. How are you doing? I know you've been keeping quite busy.
Oh yes, Alan. Of course, it's for a great cause, you know. Well, I want to tell you, it's going to be a big night, and it's a one-night only spectacular event. And I'm telling you, you're going to see some things you didn't believe could happen. You see, it's not only going to be me, Morgus, on the big screen at the Orpheum Theater. It's going to be my alter ego, Sid Noel, on the big stage.
And it's all for a really good cause, right?
Keep that audience on the edge of their seats. I'm telling you, with a historic presentation, they won't forget, Alan.
That's fantastic. And again, it's for a really good cause, though, isn't it?
It's a great cause. That's right. And I tell you, what you're going to see are a lot of questions that everybody would like answered. First of all, how would you like to know, is there another Earth like ours in the universe?
Whoa.
I mean, and how about what happened before the Big Bang? And more than ever, how about this question I don't think anybody knows but me? And that is the speed of dark faster than the speed of light? Even Einstein doesn't know that, Alan.
Well, there are a lot of friends of science that are out there wanting to know the answer to those questions. Can you tell me a little bit about the show and the time, et cetera, where it's going to be?
Yes, indeed. Of course, it's going to be, and it's titled An Evening with Sid Noel. And it's going to be at the Orpheum Theater, and we're going to fill up those seats, I hope, here, because it's for a great event, of course. And it's at 7 o'clock, October 13th. And I'm hopeful that folks will tell everybody around town about it.
And Ticketmaster's where you get tickets?
Yes, you got it. It's going to be Ticketmaster, and the ticket is $43.50 general admission.
Wow.
So it's really great for the whole family.
And like you said, just one night only.
Yes, it's one night only, and it's going to be very historical.
This is really exciting, really exciting. I have a question for you. For somebody as esteemed a scientist as you, I'd like to ask something. When you with all your intelligence, when you get a chance, do you ever talk to yourself?
Oh, talk to myself. Only when I need advice, Alan.
I should have surmised. Well, I don't need any advice to hear from anybody about this fantastic event. I know it's going to be October the 13th. You've already said that. Sid Noel, Recollections of a Mad Scientist at the Orpheum, October 13th, 7 p.m. And again, all that information for all of the friends of science who are out there. I can't tell you how much we are pleased and how much we are to hear that you are going to be coming out to say hello to all of your other friends out there and family who want to say hello. So we all kind of feel like you're part of our family.
And we thank you. We thank you and all those great friends of mine at WYES.
Thank you, Dr. Morgus.
The old ice house has
That's
the
right.
most interesting acoustics.
That's right. It's all the interference for the ice house, exactly.
So as we keep saying, October the 13th, you can go to Ticketmaster. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Alan?
It was.
You
It
had a
was.
ball talking to him.
You know what? And
He's a great guy.
It fed my inner child, or maybe my outer child too.
We wish him well.
So, if I may, moving on from that theatrical experience, this is also the opening weekend for the Stage Door Canteen's Songbook series. This is a brand new series, and it's going to be basically basically composers of the Great American Songbook. The first of these shows is being directed by Banu Gibson, who did a great job with Dames at Sea last year. This is going to be on Cole Porter, one of my favorite composers. I believe we'll see for ourselves how good it is in just a couple of weeks here on Steppin' Out. But if Banu and music director Harry Marone Jr. have anything to do with it, this is destined to be a memorable show, and the cast will be sparkling, I'm sure. The venue will be BB Stage Door Canteen, and it'll be all the weekends going through the month, and my review will follow later in the month.
I'm seeing it this weekend too. So
you know,
we'll
and
chat
you will
about
be
it.
able to let me know because I won't be able to see it yet, but I do plan on seeing it very soon, and I do want to encourage people to get their tickets now before they run out, because when they do sell out, they will unfortunately not have room. Now, many of us will also remember that wonderful movie with Dolly Parton and Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin that was also starring, Dabney Coleman in 9 to 5. Sure. Well, Broadway enthusiasts will also remember that this show had two things. First off, Dolly Parton welcoming everyone to the theater on tape, every performance, and then the big breakout show for Megan Hilty. Those of you who may remember Backwoods Barbie, with a song that became so popular off of this show. Anyway, 9 to 5, the musical, is going to be playing, coming up at the Rivertown theaters for the performing arts. They're opening up their season with it. Again, September the 13th through the 29th, and I think we're going to also be blessed with
Kelly's
a
gonna be with us
performance
next week,
for next
yeah.
week. So keep that in mind as well. They open up on the 13th, and you'll be able to see a little bit of it at Steppin' Out that same night that it opens. After a busy summer, by the way, Michael McKelvey, who doesn't seem to ever rest, has plunged back into work. His Dr. Mr. Productions is putting on something now called Silence. That's right, Silence is based on the movie Silence of the Lambs. Now, when one chooses a movie to spoof, you have to know it's a very important basis to have one that everybody knows all the lines to, as well as the main characters. Hannah Rochelle plays FBI agent in training Clarice Starling, opposite Kevin Murphy as Dr. Hannibal Lecter, the cannibal, if you remember, the famous serial killer. As fair warning, this is an adult musical with music and lyrics by two brothers, John and Al Kaplan, and a book by Hunter Bell. He wrote Title of Show, if you remember that from a few years ago. I can tell you that there are a lot of numbers in the musical that I cannot say aloud because of FCC regulations. There's a lot of profanity in the show, but if you're not easily offended, you will love a lot of the spoofing and a lot of the satire that goes on. Trey Ming as Buffalo Bill is also notable, as is Elise McDaniel, who plays both mother and daughter kidnapped victim, and the senator Ruth Martin and her daughter Catherine. Matt Reed also has some wonderful, great moments as Clarice's father, who comes back to
Is this
to
a
talk to her.
comedy? I know it's a musical.
It is a comedy.
It is a comedy.
It is
Okay.
sort of like Terminator the musical. It's
Okay.
definitely
Gotcha.
tongue in cheek.
Yes.
And maybe some tongues and other things that are cut somewhere else. We never know.
all right.
Oh.
Understand
No
it,
details,
it's
no
it's a lot
details.
going on there. Derek Toops also is notable as the music director. He plays I believe Dr. Frederick Chilton. You know, he's the one who's always clicking his pen. Anyway, as a shot of the entire cast that I had here that I took, I got to see. It was developed, this show, as part of the New York Fringe Festival. So understand it's really intended to be a little bit less polished than some other works that you might see on stage. It's going to play at the Twilight Lounge now, and then over at the New Orleans Arts Center on St. Claude Avenue for the last 2 weeks of the month.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. And now time for picks. Poppy.
Well, Sunday, this just day after tomorrow, Poppy's Pop-Up Drag Brunch. There's a few seats left at the Parlor at the Pontchartrain. This is one not to miss. There's a lot of September birthdays, including mine, and I'll be celebrating. There'll be many. Kit Wall will be celebrating her birthday with me. We're going to have a big time. I hope everybody who doesn't have a ticket gets one now.
When?
Okay. Over at Maroney Recording Studios, this is where actually Music Inside Out is often recorded. There's going to be a live recording session with John Butte, and that's going to be this coming Friday between 7 and 9. The audience will come in. There will be refreshments, and you're going to hear John and his combo actually record an album, and you will get that album actually after it's been edited and mixed,
What a great
either in
idea.
digital form or in physical form. And so I think it's going to be really nice, actually. I wish I was going to get a take out of this, but I'm not. Although any time with John and his
Yes.
combo is fantastic.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alan.
A few years ago, JPAS presented Tuck Everlasting. It's a story about innocence and evil people and immortality, and it is going to enjoy its its North Shore premiere coming up this week, Friday and Saturday, coming up next week as well through September the 14th. The show opened and closed on Broadway back in 2016 after 39 performances. It's based on a children's story, but has many adult themes.
Okay, thank you. Now time for my picks. The 7th Annual Downriver Festival is tomorrow, September 7th, at the New Orleans Jazz Museum. That's at the old U.S. Mint, of course, from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The festival celebrates the environmental, cultural, and economic impact of the Mississippi River. The fest will include live music, panels, children's activities, walking tours, plus seafood with an emphasis on seafood and other fare. Go to downriverfest.org to see the full lineup of events. The Who Dat Nation Rally and Music Festival takes place tomorrow and Sunday from noon to 10 p.m. at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center. That's right there on Airline Drive in Metairie. Our good friend and talented musician Michael O'Hara will be there. He'll be performing a new song called Meet You in the Superdome tonight, and also much more, of course. And he's going to be performing tomorrow at noon at the Maple Leaf Stage. Go to whodatnationevents.com to see the full lineup and to purchase tickets. Hello, Matas. The Wacky World of Alan Sherman has been extended. New performances will take place on September 15th and 22nd at 7 p.m. at the annex of the old College Inn in Rockable. That's right there on the corner of South Carrollton, and I believe that's Earhart, right there. Okay, tickets are just $20, and I'm glad it's going so well. Call 202-0986 or email melonsongs@gmail.com for reservations. And author Stephen Rea will be leading an 8-week fiction writing class for adults of all ages and skill levels. The course starts on September 17th, and the class meets every week from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Mid-City Yacht Club. In Mid-City. To sign up, email Stephen, you see the spelling of Stephen, okay, -rea.com, or visit facebook.com/NOLA Writing for more information. Thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed coming to the Steppin Out Cafe.
I love it.
Many more. Thank you, and good night.
This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area. Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich.